Especially you.
You not be the rich and then I'm
No,
making
no,
you
don't
don't
worry,
pay.
no, no worry. I dey come town now, eh. I get you dey go shop. I dey come meet you for shop. No worry. I will come meet for shop today. Don't worry. I will come meet for
My
shop.
chicken. That may not give me my chicken.
Dan, man, each time you say you never give some people chicken, so I think you own join those where you never give. So I dey come. I will organize your own for you. No worry.
Okay, ma. No wahala.
Hopefully, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Talk sport this morning. Welcome to anywhere joining us. Sport and things that happen. Make sure you don't miss anything. A lot of stuff's happening in the world of sports. We'll start by talking about a bit around what's happening around. I came in. With someone saying nobody's free. Yes, he had a coach, was going punished for what happened. Senegalese coach, yeah, asking the players to go into the dressing room when they had that issue, and that has gotten that has gotten him punished where he has to pay around 100,000 dollars for that particular action. So it's one of those major talking points, and the fact that we can see the Senegalese are already having a GoFundMe account to get raise funds that they will use to pay for the Senegalese coach. I think that's one of the major talking points, and don't want him to pay them. He has a 5 match ban. Talk about Pipe, Papi. I hope I'm correct with his name. The coach of the Senegalese national team, like he's trying to look for a way to contribute that particular money for him to make sure he does not pay that amount of money. I think he has won the trophy, and someone would say nothing is too big, or let's say nothing is too big to pay for that. If he has to pay $100,000 for winning the call it the African Cup of Nations trophy, it means a lot. So that will be one of those major things we'll talk about today on our live stream, and of course we'll also talk about tennis also on our live stream today. So what I'm just going to talk about while I'm driving, we're talking about the African Cup of Nations, the fines that have been given to the players. What do you think about the fines? Do you think it's a right decision to let those players pay those fines? And the funny part of it, some of the interesting part of the whole thing is that it's not just what I call it, it's not just only the players of Senegal that are being punished. The players of we have Hakimi also being punished. So Hakimi has his own punishment too, and Hakimi is being punished practically for the fact that he had to throw the towel of Eduardo Mendy, and for that he's not going free. He's going to be punished for that particular action also. So different reactions from what's happening. The ban, is it fair enough? What do you think though? Do you think the ban, or will I say the sanctions, is it fair enough that was given to the Senegalese team? The Moroccans asked basically for the fact that they should take out that trophy from them. I think that was too big. You cannot ask for a trophy to take it out. These guys already won the trophy, and the next thing you'll be saying, "Oh, take it off from them, give it to Morocco." And I think that was one of those unfair decisions. I think there was no how that was going to stand. No, and thank God it did not stand. But Senegal are already doing that, GoFundMe for their coach to make sure the coach does not pay that amount of money. And someone say, man, that is really, really, really interesting. Sure, really interesting. And to see that the national team coach don't pay for that. But as I said earlier, if you're just joining me, it's Richard Waji. Of course, the live stream. I'm talking about the latest sports updates. I'm talking about the Senegal national team. They've won the Nations Cup yesterday. CAF came up with the sanctioned 2 of their players, sanctioned the coach, also sanctioned some of the Moroccan players. And we're talking about what do you think about the sanctions and everything? Yeah, the sanctions, the GoFund account where they're trying to raise funds for the coach and everything. But I think if you followed up the African Cup of Nations in Morocco, it raised several questions. I was in Morocco to cover the African Cup of Nations, and I saw several things, and it raised peculiarly several questions around officiating. Now we'll talk about the officiating part, but let's talk about the good part of the African Cup of Nations. Now the African Cup of Nations came with in a very, very good way, where we had good stadiums in all around Morocco. I keep on telling people that I'm not sure any African country can brag about equality when it comes to stadiums that Morocco have right now, because Morocco, I think, have 12 FIFA approved stadia, which makes it unique for them. Imagine having 12 FIFA approved stadia in Morocco, and when it comes to the stadium they used for the tournament, they were all quality. They were all great stadiums. So that's the first part. I'll talk about organization. The people were welcoming. You know, I was in Morocco, and I can tell you this for free that the Moroccans were welcoming. They welcomed us. The tournaments, the stadiums were, as I said earlier, were good. You know, we journalists, we had a good place to stay. Talk about our the journalists, likewise the hangout place where we stay, no matter our lounge. It was really great. So beyond every single thing, one great thing we can talk about is the fact that, you know, they had a great organization. It was well planned. But the major issue around the AFCON will still remain the issue around, you know, officiating, where, you know, many have had complained. People like us, you know, came up with the fact that we believe that the AFCON was basically meant to have a way to favor Morocco. That was one of the things that we believe, that the AFCON was just a way to favor Morocco. Because I think basically after watching the Cameroon game, when we saw what happened, the Cameroon, I think it was Mbomo that went down inside the penalty box, and we saw what happened. We also watched the Nigeria game. We saw the Ghanaian coach make a lot of wrong calls, and all these wrong calls, all these wrong decisions raised one thing, that this Nations Cup was, you know, built or was arranged for a particular, you know, country just to win, and basically just Morocco to win it. You know, so this was what our thoughts, you know, went towards. Now in the final game, Senegal came very rarely. That a situation whereby things play out how it happened against Cameroon or Nigeria, they will just lose out. And you know, that moment came in, and I think the plan from the Senegalese coach was pre-planned. You know, he already had the plan that, okay, I will do this particular thing. I will make sure that at the long run, any wrong decision will have a way to protest. And when the wrong decision came, he had to protest. And you know what happened? Asking the players to move into the dressing room. And that has gotten the issue. Now, the whole towel saga was on that part of the Nations Cup that got many people talking. You know, the towel saga, where some the Moroccan ball boys taking out the towels on the back of the goalkeeper's side and everything. These are all different issues that happen. But if we want to rate the African Cup of Nations and talk about whether it was really up to standard, yes, the host nation felt they deserve to win the trophy, which is also not meant to be so. You know, I think if you want to win the trophy, you must come up with your A game, play good football. Then at the long run, we can say, yes, you truly deserve to win the trophy. You should not win the trophy based on the fact that you feel, okay, I'm playing very good football. For that particular reason, I should win the African Cup of Nations. So I think that is where Morocco got it, you know, wrong. And they were desperate, and they already had a picture. I was in Morocco, as I said earlier, and they had a picture that we will definitely win the AFCON. If you're just joining me, it's Richard Onwaje. Of course, I'm having the live stream. We're talking about the sanctions on Morocco and of course Senegal. The sanctions came in yesterday, and it has gotten many people talking. I'm trying just to recap, you know, what happened in Morocco, and basically how the whole actions with the fine, which is what is now, you know, many are talking about, and if the fines are fair enough. So I think CAF got it right. Nobody is nobody's working free, basically because of the two nations, Morocco and, you know, Senegal, are being punished. So in the long run, nobody is really going free. No one is, you know, just walking out free. And you know, the both teams are being punished for what happened during the African Cup of Nations final game. And for me, Senegal should be happy. They are paying $100,000, you know, whatever. They should be happy that is all they have to pay. I think for many of us, we will believe that is a fair decision by CAF. I think CAF got this particular one right. I think going forward, the mentality of you must host and you must win. Morning, sir. Thank you, sir. Zenith Bank, sir. The idea is definitely to have a good, you know, network, right? So we're talking about it. What do you think about the Nations Cup? We'll also visit some other issues this morning. Basically, let's talk about a bit around let's talk a bit about the Champions League, of course, and the Benfica goalkeeper is still the hero. Jose Mourinho is still the hero. A lot of talking points around Jose Mourinho, what happened that particular day. We're talking about Jose Mourinho right now, and someone said Jose Mourinho knows Real Madrid very well, so he was able to get the results well against Real Madrid, and that's what many believe, that there was no how Real Madrid were going to win that particular game against Benfica, the Champions League, and that's why we call him the special one. We know what happened to him in his last club, before he made that movement, back to this particular club and everything. So Jose Mourinho is still one of the big talks we have in the world of sports. This morning, we're going to in the EPL. We're going to go to a very interesting week. It's still the countdown where we see in the EPL Arsenal sit up in the league. Arsenal lost their last game, in the EPL against Manchester United, and Man U are the best when it comes to football, and so when you look at it from different sides, it's very interesting thing when it comes to football in the EPL. It's very interesting. Barcelona is still going through the boom blasting based on their stadium and not being fit. And so if you look at, let's go at Real Madrid themselves. The question of whether Real Madrid have lost, lost the bites. Is this the Real Madrid that we used to know? Different talking points around that. This is Real Madrid that we used to know. Real Madrid is no longer having that big bite, but Real Madrid always be Real Madrid. You can't use the Benfica game to judge them. Where they didn't do well against Benfica is one of those things that will definitely just happen. In football, sometimes you win some, you lose some, and for many people, the game against Benfica was one of those particular games, where you would try, and for many, it gave us the best kind of football. In the sense that you can win any game, you can lose any game. Nobody don't have it all. Nobody will say, okay, nobody will say that I must just win every game. So I think that's more of the reality of football which we got in that particular game. And basically for me, I'm very, very happy. Alright, let's go back to FA Cup of Nations. My name is Richard Waje. If you're just joining me, of course, get a subscription button on. We're talking about the FA Cup of Nations, and we are following up what's happening. Well, of course, what happened, the sanctions on the Senegalese national team, and whether you think that's fair enough. Many are arguing about the fact that that particular sanction, is fair. The two sides are having to be sanctioned. Nobody is going scot free. Everybody's been taken. Senegal had their own punishment. Morocco had their own punishment also too. So end of the day, none of these particular teams are, let's say, are going free. So earlier we spoke about the fact that what do you think about those sanctions? Are you okay with the sanctions? Do you think CAF were fair enough with what they did? Giving those sanctions to both we'll talk about countries. I spoke about the fact that there's already a raising of funds. Well done, sir. Well done, sir.